There is something no one tells you about awakening. Everyone talks about the beauty of truth, the freedom of clarity, the peace that comes with seeing beyond illusion. But almost no one talks about the cost. The hidden cost of seeing the truth is that once you see, you can never go back. You can no longer participate in the world the same way. You lose the comfort of ignorance. You lose the safety of belonging. You lose the illusion of certainty. And while what you gain is real, what you lose often feels unbearable, because seeing the truth doesn't just open your eyes, it breaks your heart. It starts quietly. One day you begin to notice the cracks. Maybe you realize that the people around you are more asleep than awake, that the systems you trusted are built on manipulation, that the things you were taught to value feel strangely hollow. You notice how much pretending fills every room, how people smile when they want to cry, how they chase approval while calling it purpose, how they lie to themselves every single day just to survive. And at first, you might think you can handle it. You think truth will set you free. But what it really does, at least at first, is strip you bare. Because once you see, the veil is gone. The colors that used to enchant you now look artificial. The conversations that once felt exciting now sound shallow. The ambitions you used to chase now seem absurd. You start to wonder how you ever believed in all of it. You can't laugh at the same jokes. You can't join the same games. You can't lose yourself in the same distractions. You become a witness to a play you once starred in, and that distance changes everything. The truth shows you how much of your life was built on illusion. It shows you that most of what you called love was attachment, that most of what you called success was validation, that most of what you called identity was conditioning. You see how much of yourself was a mask, carefully shaped by what others wanted from you. You see that almost everyone around you is wearing one too. And the weight of that realization can feel like grief, because it is grief. You're mourning a version of the world that never really existed. At this point, most people don't want to go further. They sense the pain that comes with truth, so they turn away. They double down on distraction, on busyness, on consumption. They drown themselves in comfort to avoid seeing what's real. And maybe you've tried that too. Tried to forget, tried to fit back in, tried to close your eyes again. But once truth has entered your awareness, it doesn't leave. It whispers from the background, reminding you that nothing is as it seems. You can delay it, but you can't escape it. The cost deepens as you begin to realize that truth isolates. When you see through illusion, you stop resonating with people who are still lost in it. Conversations that once flowed easily now feel forced. You find yourself pausing before you speak, realizing that most people aren't ready to hear what you really see. You try to explain, to share your perspective, but it only creates distance. They look at you with confusion, sometimes with pity, sometimes with anger, because truth is threatening to those still clinging to lies. So you start staying quiet. You stop trying to convince anyone. You let them sleep. You watch as they argue, judge, compete, and perform, knowing that none of it matters the way they think it does. You feel both compassion and sadness. Compassion for their innocence, sadness for their blindness. You realize that seeing the truth doesn't make you superior. It just makes you alone. And yet, this loneliness is sacred, because in that silence, you begin to meet yourself. You begin to feel what's real underneath all the noise. You begin to experience presence, not as a concept, but as a living awareness that watches everything rise and fall. You start noticing how life moves with or without your interference. You begin to feel the rhythm of existence itself. The same truth that once shattered your illusions now starts to rebuild you from the inside out. But the rebuilding process is not gentle. It's raw, confronting, and relentless. Truth will not let you hide anymore. It will bring every shadow to the surface, every false belief, every wound you've avoided. It will dismantle the stories you've told yourself about who you are. It will show you how much of your suffering was self-created. And it will demand that you stop blaming the world, stop projecting, stop escaping. This is the hidden cost that no one warns you about, the price of self-honesty. Because the deeper you see, the less you can lie to yourself. You can't pretend to be fine when you're not. You can't chase validation when you know it's empty. You can't keep people around who drain your spirit. You can't tolerate what feels false. You start cutting cords, not out of anger, but out of necessity. Your energy becomes sacred. Your time becomes sacred. Your truth becomes sacred. You realize that peace has a price, and that price is everything that isn't aligned with it. You start losing things you thought you needed. Friends fade away. Goals collapse. Identities dissolve. The old life unravels thread by thread. It's terrifying. You feel naked, uncertain, exposed. The old you is dying, but the new you hasn't fully emerged yet. This in-between space, the void, is where the real initiation happens. The place where your old illusions die and your true awareness begins to live. This is where many give up. The cost feels too high. They try to go back to sleep. They try to pretend they never saw. But once you've glimpsed the truth, pretending becomes unbearable. The noise of the world starts to feel like static in your soul. You crave silence, authenticity, stillness. And so, little by little, you let go. You surrender to what's real. And that's when something extraordinary happens. When you stop fighting the truth, it stops hurting. What once felt like loss begins to feel like liberation. You realize that the loneliness of truth is not loneliness at all. It's spaciousness. You realize that what felt like isolation is actually connection to something far greater. You begin to feel life itself directly, without filters. You feel love not as emotion, but as essence. You realize that truth doesn't take anything from you. It only removes what was never yours. You see that every loss was a clearing. Every ending was a beginning. Every collapse was making room for something more real. And you understand that the cost of truth is not punishment, it's purification. The fire that burns away illusion also forges clarity. The pain that comes with awakening is the pain of transformation. It's not cruelty, it's cleansing. Still, there are moments when it hurts, when you long for the simplicity of not knowing, when you miss the days when things made sense, even if they were false. You remember what it felt like to belong, even if it was to a dream. And sometimes you'll wish you could go back, but you can't. Because truth, once seen, changes everything. It changes the way you love. It changes the way you work. It changes the way you see yourself and the world. And eventually, it changes what you value. You stop wanting things that don't nourish your soul. You stop chasing success that costs your peace. You stop needing constant distraction to feel alive. You begin to crave simplicity, honesty, stillness. You find beauty in things you once ignored. You find meaning not in achievement, but in awareness. The world that once felt fake now feels sacred again, but not because it changed, because you did. You begin to see that truth doesn't destroy, it reveals. It shows you the foundation beneath the illusion. It shows you what can't be taken away. It shows you the eternal within the temporary, and that is the real reward. The cost of truth is everything unreal. The reward of truth is everything real. But make no mistake, the path is not easy. You will lose comfort, you will lose illusions, you will lose the crowd. You will lose the version of yourself that was built to please others. You will lose the ability to pretend. You will lose your taste for noise. You will lose your need to be understood. And yet what remains after all that loss is priceless. What remains is presence. What remains is freedom. You'll learn to walk through the world quietly, no longer needing to fix it or argue with it. You'll stop trying to wake people up and simply live awake. You'll realize that truth doesn't need to shout, it just needs to be. And in your being, you'll become a light for others, not because you try to, but because truth radiates through you naturally. This is the paradox of awakening. The more you lose, the more you gain. The more you let go of illusion, the more you discover what was always real. You begin to live without armor, without pretense, without performance. You no longer seek approval because you no longer doubt your worth. You no longer chase happiness because you've found peace. You no longer fear death because you've seen what never dies. So yes, there is a cost to seeing the truth. It will break you open. It will strip you of everything false. It will demand your total honesty. But it will also give you something the asleep can't imagine. A life lived in clarity. A life where nothing is hidden and everything is sacred. A life where you no longer run from yourself because you finally met who you truly are. If you've felt this pull, if you've started to see through the illusions and wondered why it hurts so much, know that it's okay. The pain is part of the process. It's the echo of your old self dying. It's the friction between the false and the real. Don't fight it. Let it burn what needs to burn. Let it clear what needs to clear. Truth doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to set you free. And when the dust settles, you'll look back and realize that what you thought was a loss was actually grace. That what you called loneliness was actually space for your soul to breathe. That what you called destruction was actually rebirth. So don't be afraid of the cost. Pay it willingly. Every illusion you surrender brings you closer to freedom. Every truth you face brings you closer to peace. And one day, you'll see that what you gained was worth far more than what you lost. Because once you've seen the truth, you stop needing the world to make sense. You simply trust life as it is. If you felt something in this message, if it touched that quiet part of you that's tired of pretending, leave a comment below. Tell me how awakening has changed the way you see. And if this spoke to your soul, don't forget to like and subscribe. Not for the numbers, but because somewhere out there, someone is just beginning to see, and they need to know that what they're feeling isn't the end. It's the beginning of seeing clearly.